Hi, my name is Leah. This is my video number 2 discussion board on the video God Will Tire of Us about the situation in Sudan and the Lost Boys. The reason for their migration was due to a civil war between the North and the South in Sudan. The Muslim military of the North is persecuting the black Christians of the South and caused them to migrate from Sudan all the way to Kenya. They originally started with 27,000 lost boys and was reduced to about 10,000 over their 5 years of travel to find refuge. The reason for conflict in this area is primarily due to religious differences and oil in their country. These boys were able to escape persecution from the military and fled to neighboring countries to seek refuge. What have I learned about this culture is that they're a really united people. They take a big honor in their customs and their culture, in their way of life. They seem happy and have hope despite despair and despite the circumstances that have been brought against them. You can tell that these boys take a lot of value and pride in their culture, and they place a strong importance on tradition. They seem to be focused more on spirituality than they are on materialistic things, and they spend a lot of time singing and dancing and building friendships that have turned into families. They created a place called the White House, which is a type of parliament where the boys come together and share stories and reminisce about the life that they used to have and their families and where they might be. One of the boys said that he created this for times where they're without food or fire. So even in times of starvation, they still come together and have hope for a better life. You can tell that they had a lot of fears about coming to America initially, and you can just tell from the video how separate our cultures are and how different day-to-day life would be for them here. They faced a lot of challenges from just bathing and hygiene to never having electricity. They had never seen a shower that turned on or a microwave or packaged food. Everything is a complete shock to them. It was very difficult for them to assimilate into our culture, even though they wanted to be here and were appreciative of the opportunity they were given. It's still a very different lifestyle. Our culture is based on, individuality succeeding, whereas they are more of a unit, and you can tell it's difficult for them and seems lonely for them to be not as a whole group and more separated. They did a lot of community building at their own refugee camps amongst each other with parliament and differentiating jobs between older and younger kids. And then later on, when the UN came in and set them up with actual jobs and gave them education and community building with each other in that way, and then with the new settlements moving to the US, people came in and showed them how to buy groceries and shower and create resumes, helped them get jobs, and also had reunions. And in these reunions, they were able to gather and figure out betterment for their people and discuss reasons and ways to empower the other lost boys who are still left behind in these refugee camps. I thought it was really, really interesting and important how much pride and responsibility they took towards giving back to their homeland, and hopefully one day being able to find and bring their families and the boys back in the refugee camps back to America to better themselves, and that they still all had hope for one day returning to the Sudan and having peace there. I think that that's like a really, really awesome goal, and really interesting to see that even through such violence that they still feel so connected to their home, and they still want to return back despite losing everything. How I see American culture now that I've witnessed it through the eyes of the Sudanese men is kind of sad. I feel like they think we have poor work ethic, that we're fat and lazy. They don't see us as hard workers, and that we take things for granted. I think we could learn from them to have more respect for one another and consideration for one another, and care more about the community as a whole instead of individual people succeeding. I think that there could be a lot of learning and exchange from our culture to their culture. I don't think that any one way is necessarily right or wrong, but I do think that there are a lot of differences that each culture could benefit from. All in all, I found this video very, very informative. I was not really knowledgeable about the situation in Sudan prior to this. Now I feel connected more to that situation and what those people are going through. But yeah, I thought it was a great video, and I really enjoyed the assignment, and hope everyone else did too. Thanks. Bye.